The entire sniper range had fallen silent. One by one, highly trained US Marine snipers stepped forward, took careful aim, controlled their breathing, and squeezed the trigger. Yet every shot landed just outside the target center. The instructors frowned. These were some of the finest marksmen. But something was clearly wrong. Whispers spread across the training ground as frustration began to replace confidence. Standing quietly near the edge of the range was an elderly veteran. His faded jacket carried no flashy medals, and his calm expression revealed years of experience rather than pride. Most of the young Marines barely noticed him. To them, he looked like just another retired soldier, invited to observe the training. But the senior instructor knew exactly who he was. The instructor approached the veteran and asked politely, "Would you mind giving them a demonstration?" The old man smiled gently and nodded. The younger Marines exchanged doubtful glances. Some wondered how a man with gray hair and weathered hands could possibly outperform active military snipers. After all, technology had changed. Rifles had improved, and modern training methods were far more advanced than those of decades past. Without saying a word, the veteran picked up the rifle. He didn't rush. Instead, he carefully inspected the wind, watched the movement of distant grass, and closed his eyes. For a brief moment, it seemed as though he wasn't just looking at the target. He was listening to the environment itself. He settled into position, took one slow breath, and fired. The bullet struck the exact center of the target. Silence. The Marines stared in disbelief. Some thought it was simply luck. The instructor quietly reset the target at an even greater distance. The veteran repeated the process again. He studied the wind, adjusted only slightly, and fired another perfect shot. Now nobody doubted his skill. One young Marine stepped forward and respectfully asked, "Sir, what's your secret?" The old veteran smiled. "The rifle is only a tool," he replied. "The real weapon is the mind behind it." He explained that during combat many years ago, he learned that panic causes mistakes, while patience creates precision. A sniper who only trusts the scope will eventually fail. A sniper who understands nature, controls emotions, and respects every shot will rarely miss. He then asked every Marine to lower their rifles. Confused, they obeyed. For the next 5 minutes, he said, "Don't look through the scope. Watch the wind, listen to the birds. Feel the air, learn what the battlefield is trying to tell you." At first, the exercise felt strange. But slowly, the Marines began noticing details they had ignored before. The changing breeze, tiny shifts in sunlight, and subtle movements across the landscape. When they returned to their rifles, everything felt different. One after another, their shots became more accurate, not because the rifles had changed, because they had the instructor gathered everyone together and pointed toward the veteran. "Technology can improve equipment," he said, "but wisdom can improve people." The old Marine quietly placed the rifle back on the table. He didn't celebrate or boast. Instead, he simply thanked the instructor and began walking away. One young sniper hurried after him. "Sir," he asked, "after all these years, what keeps you so accurate?" The veteran paused and smiled. "I never shoot to prove I'm the best," he answered. "I shoot because every shot deserves my full respect." Those words stayed with every Marine on that range. Years later, many of them would become instructors themselves. They taught advanced tactics, modern equipment, and precision shooting. But above all, they shared the lesson of the quiet old veteran, that true excellence is never about strength alone. It is built through discipline, humility, patience, and the willingness to keep learning. No matter how much experience you already have, sometimes the greatest teacher isn't the loudest voice in the room. It's the one whose actions speak louder than words, reminding everyone that mastery begins not with the weapon in your hands, but with the character in your heart.